It looks like the spring thaw has finally set in after a long and bitter winter. But this is bleached coral in the tropical South China Sea, the result of water that's too warm. In 6 years on Tioman, dive guide REEF had never seen bleached coral. But then again, neither had he experienced water that was 34 degrees.
In the beginning, we didn't see any changing. But after a few days, we look at the coral all bleaching. It's like a snowstorm. So everywhere bleach. Even from the surface, you can see all bright white color. It's bad.
What we see as rock-like coral is actually the skeletons of millions of tiny animals. Plant algae living inside them give the coral its colour and provide it with food. But when coral gets stressed because the water gets too warm, it expels the algae, leading to the bleached effect. And if the water stays warm for too long, it dies. Malaysia has suffered particularly badly this year, with coral bleaching of up to 90% at some dive sites. The situation got so bad, the Malaysian government actually closed 13 sites to divers and snorkelers until October to protect the coral while they recover. But even though the waters have now cooled, local experts still fear up to 20% of coral could die, and less coral means fewer fish. Julian HYDE runs Reef Check, a conservation group which monitors the health of Asia's reefs. He says coral reefs are vital to the life cycle of fish.
Something like 25% of fish will breed there and make their home there. So without the reef there, there's no habitat, there's no breeding ground, there's no feeding ground for the fish in that stage of their life cycle.
It's a story being repeated across the Coral Triangle, a region recognised as the global centre of marine biodiversity. NOAA says the combined land and sea surface temperatures from January to July were the hottest on record, hotter even than 1998, when at least 16% of the world's corals died. But the importance of coral reefs goes far beyond a marine habitat or a draw for scuba divers.
But if you go over to East Malaysia, you look at the Philippine Islands, a lot of the Indonesian islands, there's still a subsistence fishing market there, and these are guys that are feeding off the reef. So if the reef fish go, their source of food goes, their source of livelihood goes.
150 million people live within the Coral Triangle, with over 2 million relying on fisheries for their livelihood. The Nature Conservancy estimates tourism to be worth almost $10 billion a year, fisheries almost $6 billion. And while the waters of the Western Pacific have now cooled, the danger to marine life is not over yet. NOAA says the corals in the Caribbean may well be the next to find themselves in hot water. Stephanie Scawen, Al Jazeera, Tioman Island, Malaysia.